Good morning, this is TCR, TroyCommunityRadio.com. Saturday morning programming is brought to you by Outlook Financial Center. I'm Clint Myers. Time now for the Mayor's Report, and with me this morning is Mayor Michael Beamish. Welcome to the program.
Rain, rain, go away, come again some other day.
No kidding. We had a week worth of rain, and then this hurricane is going to bring in from the coast.
Well, that's why I say come again some other day. But I'll tell you, we've had our share of rain, and it kind of washed out a lot of activities around this whole area.
That it did, but there were still activities that went off without a hitch.
That's true. That's true. And we'll talk about one of them that has just taken place on this Patriot Day week.
No, absolutely. We did the Freedom Climb.
That was a great event.
That was Sunday. I could not believe. I was a little worried because being wet and rainy and a little cool out there, wind was up, and as we're setting up in the press box over at Memorial Stadium, and I came down and saw the line that was waiting to get in to get in and get registered. So an impressive crowd turned out. What a great Freedom Climb.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Troy Community Radio. You and David, again, seem to be at all the major functions that we have that are public and certainly worthwhile event, and this was one of them. I certainly give a lot of credit to Joe Stutz and family for their efforts. This was the second annual, and I look for this to continue. It seemed like didn't matter if it was raining, and we all had our people that we were observing and in memory of that passed away on that fateful day of 9/11. But to go up and see people go up and over and down, and that counted
64 times.
64 times, and that accounted for the number of steps it took to go up into the towers.
1,980.
That's right. That's right. Now, I have to admit, I will tell you, my wife and I were there, and we were certainly had an opportunity to share, but we walked the track.
Yes.
We did not go up, over, and down.
That's what I like. You don't have to do all the steps up and down the stadium. It's tough on the knees, but you can go around the track 4 times. That's
exactly what my wife and I did, and it was just such a good feeling to know that people were there for the right reason, and they were to show their patriotism. And I have to make a mention, and I know you saw this as well, when you looked in the stadium and you saw all those American flags flying, and then you looked behind the stadium
towards the levee.
The levee with the Walk of Remembrance that's sponsored by the Optimist. In fact, all those flags were donated by the Optimist Club, the Noon Club. And so when you put those packaged together in a show of patriotism,
with the fire truck out front with the big flag,
it was a wonderful scene to really realize, but also to realize that freedom isn't free, because the reason we did all that in remembrance of 9/11 and the tragedy day that took place. And so it was a sense of patriotism. It was a sense of, hey, it was raining, but hey, those guys, those first responders went in those towers, brave, and paid the ultimate sacrifice.
We're not giving it a second thought to go in and save lives. And our firefighters, EMTs, and first responders do that every day.
And they were there, by the way. I want people to, if they didn't participate, maybe next year they can mark that day on their calendar to participate, because we did have police and fire. The sheriff was there. We had a number of people who are first responders participating. It was a wonderful day, even though the rain fell, and people still walked.
It did not deter anyone away.
No, it was wonderful. And I want to thank again the Optimist Club for their walk of remembrance, but to also their donation of all the flags. It just made a beautiful sight and a great remembrance.
Well, you think about the Twin Towers and going down on September 11th. 343 firefighters, emergency responders lost their lives. 71 law enforcement lost their life. Total at the Twin Towers was 2,996.
That's a lot of loss of life, and and I should say, proceeds from the walk, the Freedom Climb, all went towards either the local police and fire organizations, or it went to the national fallen firefighters and the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial.
I liked the extra, they were calling it a raffle with different flags downstairs under the stadium, but it was a donation to get your raffle ticket, and that helped out a family right here in town.
Yeah, the Hoffinger
Yes.
family, who our own firefighter lost his life. And so it was just a great experience. Even though the rain was falling, we were there. And I think hopefully next year, as we do the annual walk, climb, Freedom Climb, that people will still continue to grow that event and show their patriotism for our country and for those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we were up in the press box and the kind of thunderous rumbling of all of the feet going up and down the steps there,
Right.
it was amazing.
It was a good experience, and thanks again to the Joe Stutz and family.
Yeah, they did a phenomenal
And
job.
all of our first responders that
Yes.
participated. And Kettering Health Network. I want to throw a plug in for them.
You're right, they were set up
They
there.
had 2 tents there to help. If there was an injury or something that took place, they were prepared to help deal with that.
And we didn't do too bad at the end with a hamburger and hot dog. I know Heron's had the grill over there, and
That's right.
the
Sheriff and some of our own police finest were
Man in the
serving
grill.
out. That's right. That was a good experience as well.
yes. Right now, going on Cherry Street Farmers Market, we're into the last few weeks of it.
Into September, we'll end our farmers market, but it's still an opportunity for people. The produce, the food things, the items, the different items that are there, but just the fellowship of seeing people walk up and down that block.
Well, it's like an open air market.
Yeah.
You think out in Seattle, Fisherman's Wharf, you go out there and all of the outdoor shopping. It's like that on Cherry Street here.
So through September, we have that going on.
Now, the Walk to Remember Alzheimer's Walk, that is going on today.
Yep, the walk to end Alzheimer's. And boy, wouldn't that be nice if someday we could say we end Alzheimer's through research and through cures. But until that time, we do fundraising efforts each year. It's an annual event. We have it down by the courthouse, between the courthouse and safety building. That's our kickoff location. And then we walk to end Alzheimer's. And it's going on right now. Registration, sign up. You'll see a lot of teams work together. But I certainly encourage that.
Use caution when you're out driving.
Yep.
Here this morning.
Mayor Casey Hines and I are co-chairs, are honorary co-chairs of that event. So we have a proclamation we share to kick things off. But it is a good thing, and it affects a lot of people and their families.
I would be willing to bet that there is not a family out there now that Alzheimer's has not touched.
That's right. And so that's going on right now.
Now, the River Stewards were supposed to be doing some things last week, and that is one of the things that got postponed.
Yeah, they did. They will have a new rain date. They're going to try it again September 29th. It'll still be at Treasure Island Park. And I want to put a plug with local innovator Ethan Smith.
That's Smith Fly.
Smith Fly on Water Street. He's been creating a water tent. And we want to break that out on the Great Miami River, and we thought the UD River Stewards would be a great group of people to get on the river with the new water tent and enjoy. And I think we'll probably limit the activities. Of course, they're back in school and they have other courses of study, but they love the river, and our plan is to invite them back on the 29th.
Now, they've been pretty inventive over there in creating several products
That's right.
for the great outdoors and getting back to the river.
Ethan has done a great job of promoting the river, showing what can happen on the river that could really be good for our economy here in the Troy. And of course, our Activate Troy partnership has been working hard to bring the downtown and the river into play as a economic tool.
All right. You've got October 13th, the prayer breakfast. You've been doing this for
36 years, my friend. 36 years we've been doing this, and it's become an annual event. We have changed venues over those 36 years, but that's a good thing. We're back downtown for the 36th annual. It'll be at the Presbyterian Church, October 13th. That's Saturday morning. So if you have plans, keep in mind we do this prayer gathering, prayer breakfast from 9 o'clock to 10:30. And we have been very strict on that time zone so people could make their plans for the rest of the day. But we certainly encourage people to come out, fellowship together, pray together, and just hope and pray that we continue to be a very positive-minded, family-oriented community.
Absolutely. Now, things are back to schedule come Monday. You've got council.
That's right. We did have a little day delay, but we're back on the Mondays now. First and third Mondays is our normal meeting times, and be 7 o'clock, City Hall, this Monday the 17th.
Open to the public.
Always, always.
And if you can't make it out, you can always get on your smart device, go to troyohio.gov, and you can stream it straight from the city website.
And as I understand it, many people just do that. They want to find out what's going on, but can do that from their own home.
Yep. If you want to stay in touch, that's an easy way to do it right there, Mayor.
Absolutely.
I guess really the big events that we've got coming up further in the future is going to be our hometown Halloween celebration.
That's right.
And then the grand illumination and Christmas.
You know, and both of those events attract a lot of youngsters, a lot of people, a lot of families, and that's exactly what we're talking about in Troy, Ohio, family-oriented type activities. And we've got a lot of things going in the fall season. Of course, the athletic teams, both from Troy Christian and Troy High School, are really active.
I was going to say,
well.
What do you think about those two football teams?
I'd say, you know, a few years ago, we were able to get both teams into the playoffs, and we had a gathering down Treasure Island Park.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
And we had bands there, the cheerleaders there. Well, wouldn't that be neat if we could pull that off one more time? But,
I think they're working on it.
The teams are working hard.
And,
and good coaching, and just continue to wish good successes for both programs.
All right, Mayor. Anything else you'd like to add this morning?
I think we've covered a lot of bases, my friend. And I would only add, when we talk fall sports, it's not just football.
Oh, no.
But we have some successful soccer programs going, volleyball programs, golf programs going. So
talented kids.
We have a lot of scholar athletes out there, you know, showcasing their talents in our community.
All right, Mayor. Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been the Mayor's Report with Mayor Michael Beamish. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1.